Mob Psycho 100 ceases to not be entertaining and full of laughter and just over-the-top action, and this episode was just no exception to all the previous episodes we got of just pure enjoyment. I mean, right off the bat, we get Dimple, who was the cultist leader of the previous episode, going up against Reagan, because Dimple sees Reagan as a fraud, as he can see there is no psychic power coming from him, so he wants to tell Mob, but at the end of the day, he's like, no, I'm just gonna let this guy be. And what Dimple sees happening when Mob shows Dimple to Reagan, because Reagan has no powers, it's gonna be very hard for him to even notice him, which Reagan can't even see Dimple to begin with, and Dimple thinks he's got the upper hand on this guy and can just manipulate Mob. And Reagan can't see him, and what he does is just say, this spirit is so weak I can't even notice it, so it's pretty much like a ladybug for you. And Dimple's reaction is just shocked that this guy can manipulate Mob to this extent. Reagan is seriously best boy of this anime. So good with his comebacks, and you can just think of him on the fly like that. It's so good and left me laughing. I really enjoyed that scene a lot. But the main core focus for this episode was the rivalry between the two schools, the one Mob goes to and this other one, which Tenga and his gang get just beat beyond belief because of them. And Tenga looks identical to Josuke from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, I have to say. I'm not sure if that was the influence or not, but they look almost identical. I don't know if it's just me, but they definitely do. But the leader of this little gang at this other school, Teru, has psychic powers that can literally destroy the bodybuilding club, because they go to rescue Mob after this whole elaborate plan with Tenga gets washed up in the water when Mob gets captured, and they just wreck shit with this little gang there. But when Teru pops in, he literally doesn't even touch the guys and just sends them flying and destroys them. And at the end of the episode, we can see Mob use his psychic powers to basically say, you shouldn't use these against people, because that's his morale, you know? You don't use your powers against normal people. That's why he doesn't attack anyone or anything like that. So next episode, we're gonna get one wicked fight between the two. But I mean, it's probably clear that Mob's going to win. I don't think, you know, this new guy is going to be able to rival Mob, but I do think he'll be able to push his shit in a bit. But to see someone with this type of power that isn't Mob, it was really interesting, because how many more characters are we going to get that will be able to push Mob? Or at least be able to give Mob a fight that he can't just win with, you know, no effort or anything like that like last week. Because every fight we've seen so far with Mob had been pretty one-sided. I mean, Mob gets serious and wins. That's how it is. So it will be interesting if this guy can really push Mob to the extreme, and based on what we've seen with his psychic powers, I think we absolutely will. But seriously, this episode was pure enjoyment once again. The animation's still on point, watching all the different shifts in tone they use to really get the emotion across, and seeing Mob's reaction to what he thinks is a love letter because he's so oblivious. You know, even Dimple saying it's totally fake. No girl is gonna write I'm a girl on it. Tenga, I don't know what he was thinking, but it was pretty funny to see Mob's reaction because he wants love at the end of the day, and you know, just because of how oblivious he is to everything, he's not gonna ever get it. But I'm hyped for next week. I really want to see what this fight is going to go down, and if it's going to still be one side, because I expect, you know, for at least half the episode, we're going to get one wicked fight between the two. I mean, I still think Mob's going to win. I mean, it is Mob with the insane amount of power that he has, but maybe he won't win until he hits 100% with his emotional level. I'm not 100% sure, but I am definitely interested to see what happens with it. But overall, another great episode of Mob Psycho 100. It's not letting up with its comedy, with its action. It's keeping a standard and it's going with it. And, you know, I just don't think we're going to have a bad episode with this series. I mean, so far, it's just been pure enjoyment, and it hasn't let up on that, and it definitely knows what type of series it wants to be. It definitely sticks out from the crowd, and I cannot wait for more. But if you watched the episode, let me know what you thought of the whole new villain being introduced and how, you know, obnoxious he is, saying, like, I'm the main character of this story. And what do you think is going to happen next week? Do you think, you know, Mob's going to be able to take this guy no issue, or do you think it's definitely going to be a bit of a battle with Mob, and maybe he'll have to even reach 100% to beat the guy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button to show your support, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.